I would like everyone in this room to imagine it is a bright, beautiful day. Not a single cloud in the sky and a slight breeze that makes the Texas heat comfortable. Now imagine you're on your way to tennis practice. You could be a beginner learning from our coach, or a competitive player wanting some extra reps before your big tournament that weekend. You get to practice, things are going great, until 20 minutes in, the sun begins to set to the point that you can't even see the ball. By show of hands, how many people in this room would be upset by that? Yeah, why? Amaya, why would you be upset?
Then I wouldn't get to practice or see the ball.
Theory, would you be upset?
I'd be so upset. I'm already blind, so I need to light.
Exactly. This is the exact issue the St. Edward's University club tennis team faced for the past 10 years. With limited playtime and court usage, many student athletes don't get any quality practice time. My study works to solve this issue by examining the complexities of illuminating the St. Edward's University tennis facilities, focusing on both the internal and external factors influencing project management. Good afternoon, my name is Auri Zhou. I'm an international business student with a minor in communication. I feel qualified to speak on this topic as I have been the president of the club tennis team for the past 3 years and have been conducting research and development on this live project proposal for the past academic year. By the end of my presentation, we will use a live case study of a formal business proposal to investigate 3 questions. What are the main factors for a project proposal for illuminating the campus tennis courts would be affected by? How should this proposal be designed to balance internal and external stakeholders? And how should this proposal be designed in alignment with government zoning and sustainability initiatives? Prior studies show that recreational expansion could benefit universities through increased court usage, student population, university reputation, and financial stability. While there have been improvements to different areas of campus facilities, we have yet to see any changes to the tennis courts. Furthermore, I administered confidential surveys via the Qualtrics platform to all 45 club tennis athletes, with data indicating a clear need for improved court conditions to support athletic performance and greater accessibility. Survey participants were asked to rate the expected benefits of the court improvements using a 7-point Likert scale to indicate how strongly they agree or disagree with each potential benefit. As seen in this graph, participant responses indicated the highest impact would be improving the comfort of the environment and increasing total time spent playing on courts. Second to that, there would be an increase in performing, training quality, and impact on practice routine. This data demonstrates measurable demand for facility improvements and provides evidence-based justification for this project proposal. Participants were then asked to rank the same expected benefits based on their personal view of importance, with 1 being the most important and 10 being the least. As seen in this graph, the average participant responses ranked increased court time, performance, and lower scheduling conflicts as the most important benefits. This alignment between perceived outcomes and prioritized importance reinforces the validity of the findings, indicating that the benefits users expect are directly tied to what they value most. Now that a clear need for lights was identified, my next step was to translate the problem into an actionable solution. A structured business plan was essential for turning participant feedback into an actionable business plan. The proposal I developed outlined key components, including the scope, timeline, costs, and expected benefits. A formal proposal was needed to organize information clearly and align stakeholders, enabling decision makers to assess both the feasibility and to move the project forward. This research will focus on finding appropriate portable lighting systems for the campus tennis courts, ensuring they meet safety, community, and university standards, all while supporting extended use for club tennis, recreational play, and campus events. This well-defined scope ensured research stayed focused on practical, relevant solutions that meet both stakeholder needs and project requirements. Efficiency and sustainability considerations were critical when selecting a lighting system. By show of hands, how many people here know what the stroboscopic effect is? The stroboscopic effect is a perceptual illusion caused by improper lighting when rapid motion can appear slowed, stationary, or even reverse. Factors such as this effect, light trespass, and light pollution were all heavily taken into account for their impact on player performance and surrounding environments. LED sports floodlights were identified as the most effective lighting solution. LEDs are up to 90% more efficient than incandescent lights, provide directional lighting, and reduce any negative issues. Their efficiency, durability, and targeted light distribution make them a sustainable and high-performing option for tennis courts. After consideration of several factors, including any positive negative effects and different fixtures, my proposal concluded that the South Star Systems Sports Light LED floodlights were the best option for the courts. These floodlights are portable, battery-powered for up to 4 hours, and capable of covering an entire court. 5 sets were needed at a total cost of $15,000 with spring 2026 implementation. Choosing a vendor that meets technical specifications, budget, and timeline ensures that the project is realistic, implementable, and aligned with operational needs. Now you know a bit more of the research and development behind the proposal to install lights, I'll discuss how internal stakeholder communication heavily came into play. Developing a structured and research-driven proposal enabled my project to be evaluated for feasibility and long-term value. The proposal was created over the course of 3 weeks and included in-depth research on lighting fixtures, power sources, brands, and potential negative impacts. This research strengthened the credibility of my proposal, ensuring decision makers had the necessary information to assess both risks and benefits before moving forward. Ongoing communication, collaboration, and in-person meetings with the Recreation and Wellness Directors provided feedback on budget constraints, maintenance, and sustainability. These revisions made the proposal more viable, practical, and institutionally aligned, all increasing the likelihood of approval. Final approval and early implementation of the proposal demonstrated strong institutional support for my project. The Recreation and Wellness Directors later revealed the lights had already been purchased, shifting fundraising goals towards repayment rather than initial acquisition. This early investment by leadership signaled confidence in the project's value, impact, and my abilities, while also accelerating its real-world implementation. Now the project has shifted from hypothetical to reality, I'll share how our fundraising efforts developed. I found a multi-strategy fundraising approach to be essential in working towards my project's financial goal of $15,000. 3 initiatives were developed: a crowdfunding campaign, a pickleball tournament, and an alumni tailgate. Using multiple fundraising channels, diversified revenue streams, and increased the likelihood of reaching financial targets by engaging different types of donors. The first initiative was a crowdfunding campaign. This campaign utilized different digital outreach, such as Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, to engage internal stakeholders, alumni, and professionals, resulting in a $13,000 anonymous donation during the active campaign time. Leveraging both social and professional platforms allows the campaign to balance awareness and financial contribution potential, significantly increasing reach beyond the immediate campus community. The second initiative was a pickleball tournament hosted by the club tennis team. This in-person event strengthened engagement and demonstrated strong student support and participation within the project. The third and final initiative was the alumni tailgate just hosted last weekend. With over 3,000 former club athletes invited, this event created tangible opportunities for stakeholders to engage with the project, fostering community, and increasing both short-term contributions and long-term support. Networking and stakeholder contribution enhanced the overall fundraising and project planning. Through involvement as a Monday School of Business ambassador, connections with Austin professionals provided insights on fundraising, outreach, and community concerns. Engaging both internal and external stakeholders ensured the project was well-rounded, socially responsible, and supported by a broader network, improving both implementation and long-term success. This project was, of course, not without its own challenges. Procurement delays and supply chain challenges significantly impacted project timeline. The lighting system required specialized components from external vendors, and delays due to tariffs, customs processing, and international shipping all prevented the equipment from arriving as scheduled. Effective communication and coordination helped the project continue progressing despite delays. Regular updates between the suppliers, the Recreation and Wellness Directors, and myself ensured all stakeholders were informed and prepared to make adjustments to the project timeline. Flexibility and risk management were critical in maintaining progress towards project completion. The ability to adapt to unexpected challenges while maintaining momentum was a key component of success in project management, ensuring long-term goals are still achieved. This case study illustrates how structured project management can transform student-identified needs into successful campus infrastructure improvements. These improvements require not only financial resources, but also strategic planning, stakeholder coordination, and adaptive management. Designing a proposal required balancing the interests of both internal and external stakeholders. Through fundraising events, networking opportunities, and collaboration with university administrators, the proposal was designed to demonstrate strong student support while also considering the broader community. By considering energy-efficient lighting options and minimizing potential light pollution, this project aimed to support sustainability goals while also remaining consistent with local zoning expectations. Through combining project management principles with community engagement and responsible planning practices, the initiative demonstrated how student-driven ideas can help develop sustainable projects that benefit the entire university. As of this morning, we have raised $14,548. I am now proud to share that we have received the lighting systems in the mail, and they will be fully implemented for daily practices at the start of the fall 2026 semester. Thank you. Jack?
During the fundraising process, what would you change any avenues that you approach?
Any changes to the approach?
Yeah.
Originally, we had the idea to have an alumni banquet, just because that felt a bit better to make connections with alumni if you're all sat at a table with them. But the rugby team actually had a sevens tournament, and we decided to do a tailgate around them, which ended up being great because the rugby team won that, and they're now going to the championships in Washington, D.C.
Yeah. I recently listened to a presentation about I know it doesn't, but like the donor fatigue around the different NIL laws and stuff. I was curious, like in your research and in your fundraising, did you ever encounter donor fatigue, and how did you navigate that?
Yeah, I think being a student and really fundraising for such a large amount was a really scary thing. When the first crowdfunding campaign started, we only had like $900, and there was a long moment where I was like, what do I do when I graduate if we haven't reached that goal? How do I change from acquisition to repayment? What does all that look like? But honestly, through networking and really talking to so many different people and realizing I have a support system, if I keep on networking, somebody's gonna know somebody, and that ended up happening with that large donation.
Right, so it's a massive project with multiple steps embedded in it, from data collection to proposal to fundraising. What was the most challenging part for you?
I think honestly, staying on the timeline was the most challenging. There was a lot of factors at play about, is this proposal even going to get approved? Originally, it was just going to be hypothetical, and then it was approved, and how do we develop fundraising? We're working on it, the lights got purchased, awesome. How do we work to make sure that it's here on time? Originally, my scope was going to be about how tennis performance changes before and after the lights were installed, but over time, because the lights were delayed, I had to shift the scope more. Here was the project management side of it and all the work that really went into implementing the lights.
So even if they're portable, will they have to be taken down and put up like on a daily basis? Are they easily stealable?
That's a good question.
Why other people else?
Yes, so they are portable floodlights. They are technically owned by the Recreation and Wellness Department, and we have an amazing staff team who's in charge of putting them up and taking them down, making sure anyone at those practices is a student on the team. So we always have like full control over who has access to it. I will also say, because they are portable, we've decided that not only will the tennis team be able to use them, but all the other teams that have outdoor sports, such as women's lacrosse and rugby, will also be able to use them. Yes?
Did you find it to be an advantage or disadvantage that it was a student-led fundraiser? Like, what would it have looked different if, like, Rockwell were the one leading the fundraiser?
I think it being a student-driven one gave it a large advantage. I had the opportunity to go to an Austin Business Journal mentoring event at the library, and when I was there, I got to talk to people from Parks Foundations and different companies who all gave me different advice, and they're like, wow, we're really interested in this, share it with us, and post it to our companies. Something about like being youngest in the room is like always inspiring to other professionals, where they're like, oh, I want to help you grow, I want to help you do better at that.
So you're graduating, but this would benefit a lot of students. So what do you picture? What do you hope to see? Some changes.
The tennis team originally started with around 10 players when I started as a freshman, and I helped it grow to 45 players. And as great as that growth was, we just didn't have court capacity for any of those players. Practices would end an hour early with daylight savings. So I'm super excited to see these lights be able to bring more people out there to get more court time and really expand club sports altogether.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Any more questions? Okay, I'll invite Dr. Namlishan to bestow the stole.